Some quick, exciting reminders. First, tomorrow morning, we're going to be starting 15 minutes early at 8:15. That will give us a little bit more of a chance to go through the exercises, not feel so rushed, and maybe like relax the mind and the body a little more. And then second, we're really super, super lucky. Some of Henry's friends are giving a sound bath tonight. It's only $5. And I was lucky enough, as well as some of the rest of you all were lucky enough to experience it in Joshua Tree. And it's an incredible experience. I'd never participated in the sound bath before, and it was really, really cool. So I hope you can come out tonight or stay in tonight and join us at 6:30 for the sound bath. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to open up like we do, feet are parallel, settling into the space. Tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. We're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then I'm going to try to mirror you as we start tapping with our right hand. We're starting below the belly button, about 3 to 4 finger breaths. This is our lower dantian, our lower energy center. And we're going to start traveling up. To underneath the clavicle, underneath the arm. Promoting that circulation of blood and chi. Slowing down. And then wiping out anything we don't need or want, letting it go back into the earth. Settling back into the space. Now tapping with the left hand so we can open up the right side of the body. Slowing down. And then wiping out anything you don't need or want, letting it go back into the earth. From here, we're widening our stance, so now we can open the channels in the lower half of the body, in the legs. We're tapping the inner thigh and then up at the hip. Transitioning, starting from the hips, working our way down the inner aspect of the legs towards just above the ankle or wherever it's most comfortable for you. Before then transitioning to the lateral aspect of the legs, coming back on up. Once you get to the hips and the glutes, go ahead and slide that left foot a little closer to the right, maintaining that hip width, shoulder width distance. And then continuing on up to the lower back, the kidney area, just underneath the rib cage, or wherever it's comfortable for you. Placing the palms at the low back, we're circling down the sides and up the spine. Beginning to warm and wake up those kidneys and that kidney energy. And we're resting the palms at the low back, closing the eyes. And as we inhale through the nose, we're guiding the breath in the chi to the low back, maybe allowing it to inflate just a little bit. And as we exhale, we're letting this energy flow to wherever it's needed within the body. Inhaling, guiding the breath through the nose to greet the palms at the low back. Exhaling, allowing the body and mind to rest and relax. Inhaling, using the mind intent to guide the chi to the low back. And exhaling, allowing that chi to flow freely to wherever it's needed within the body. Okay, we're going to gently open the eyes, letting the arms come back down to the sides, and then closing by bringing that left foot back to the right. We're going to continue where we left off yesterday with the liver gallbladder exercise. So we're going to open up, hip width, shoulder width apart, a little wider if you want. We're going to take our forefingers and our thumbs and we're going to wrap them around the legs so that the thumbs are at the IT bands or the lateral aspect of the outer thigh, and the forefingers, the index fingers, are pointing towards the inner thigh. We're going to soften the knees, bend the knees a little bit, and on an inhale, we're going to turn the torso to the left, extending that rear leg, the right leg, and then we're going to take that right shoulder, the shoulder that's theoretically closest to me, bringing it forward, up, and then looking over that shoulder to the ground or the fourth toe, or imagining the gaze falling to the earth. As we then exhale, softening that back knee and floating back to the center. Let's do the right side. So we're inhaling as we turn the torso to the right, extending now the left leg or the back leg. That left shoulder is coming up towards the shoulder and the ear. We're gazing down at the floor. And then exhaling as we ease back to center. Okay. Once again, inhaling, placing more weight on the left leg, the left knee is bent. Still inhaling as we look over that right shoulder, and then exhaling as we go back to the center. Inhaling, placing more weight on the lead leg, looking over the shoulder that's closest theoretically to me. And then exhaling as we fall back to the center. So as we're inhaling, placing more weight now on the left knee, we're creating this swooping crescent-shaped moon type action. And then exhaling as we come back to the center. Inhaling, still inhaling. The shoulder comes up. That helps guide us as we look over that shoulder. So the leg that's relatively straight, this left leg relatively straight comes up, and then that same shoulder comes up, and we're looking over it, gazing at the earth, and then exhaling as we float back to center. Now we're going to start, as we get more comfortable with the motion, we're going to start allowing the motion to flow freely from one side to the next. So inhaling, 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 and then exhaling, flowing back to center. Inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. We do pause at the pinnacle, at the height, and then exhaling as we float back to center. Maybe starting to slow the movement down or speed it up, depending on what works best with your breath. The breath helps elevate that shoulder and elongate the torso. And then as you exhale, everything gets to be released and relaxed. So the gaze is a soft gaze until you look over that shoulder, and then almost like a waterfall coming over the mountains, it's coming up over that shoulder, flowing back to the earth. And the next time you do the right side, go ahead and pause at the center. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring that left foot back to the right. Okay, so that was twist and release, liver and gallbladder from the Golden 8. Now we're going to work on the archer exercise. Opening up once again, feet are parallel a little wider than shoulder width apart is fine. If that feels more stable to you, settling into the space. On an inhale, we're going to bring the arms up in that X pattern in front of the torso. The left hand, because that's the hand we're going to start with, is going to be on the outside. The right hand is going to be on the inside. And then on an exhale, we're extending that left hand by the blade of the pinky and pulling back with the right. Our gaze is at the tip of the middle finger of the left hand. And then as we switch and look at the wrist, we inhale, going out as an exhale, coming back in as an inhale. Transferring our gaze now to the tip of the right hand, the tip of the middle finger of the right hand. And then exhaling as we push out with that right hand. The palm is flat. The left hand is in a claw. And then inhaling as we come back to center. Exhaling as we push out and pull back. Inhaling as we come back to center. Exhaling as our gaze is connecting with the tip of the middle finger of the right hand. Inhaling, our gaze transfers to the inner wrist. Exhaling, maybe incorporating the lower half of the body by placing more weight on the rear leg, the left or the right leg. Inhaling as we come back. Exhaling, maybe placing more weight on the rear leg, the left leg. Inhaling as we come back. Exhaling. Inhaling as we gather the energy back to the center. Exhaling as we allow that expansion. Inhaling. Exhaling. And in. And then trying to relax everything except for that claw. So the next time you finish the right side, go ahead and pause with your arms crossed in the front. And then we're going to exhale as we release, bringing that left foot back to the center as we close. Okay, so now we're going to put those two exercises together. We're going to do about 5 of each exercise from side to side. So first we're going to start with the twist and release, doing our side to side. So 5, left, right, that would be 1, left, right, that would be 2. And then we're going to transition into the archer after we close. So in this series, you do open and close between each exercise, each module. So after the twist and release, then we're going to be doing the archer once again 5 times, or about 5 times on each side. Try to work with your own breath. So you may want to move a little faster or a little slower. If you're unsure of the mechanics of the exercise, don't worry, just do the best you can. These exercises are super safe. What I really want you to do is start connecting your body and your mind and the breath, right? The breath and the movement, and letting your mind rest and relax into the movement. So we're going to open up a little wider if that feels good to you. Positioning the hands upon the legs, sinking at the knees, relaxing the low back, relaxing the shoulders, tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. We start out turning to the left on our inhale, and exhaling as we float back to the center. Inhaling to the right, Exhaling back to center. One more time on each side. And closing. And opening for the archer. Inhale. Exhaling. In. And out. And on this next time, we're going to rest back at the center. Exhale as we bring the arms down and close. And then we're going to completely relax the mind and the body as we open up. This time for standing form, which we touched upon on Sunday. The feet are hip width, shoulder width apart. We're going to soften the knees, relaxing the low back, allowing the tailbone to drop, relaxing the shoulders, the jaw. Tip of the tongue is still elevating to the roof of the mouth. We're letting the feet melt into the earth, connect to the earth, and we're letting the very top of the head reach up into the sky. We're not going to be holding this form for very long, but we're going to allow the arms to sweep out to the sides as we inhale, gathering in front of the breastbone, allowing those palms to communicate with the breastbone, with the heart energy, with the energy of the lungs, all of that pectoral energy. And then we can keep a soft gaze, or if you prefer, you can close your eyes. But from here, we're simply going to breathe. Letting the breath fill up the torso. And as it exhales, allowing it to flow freely out. Inhaling, guiding the breath to the lower dantian, or as far down as comfortably it can go. Allowing it to build up within the torso, all the way to the clavicle. And then as it exits, going from the clavicle all the way down back to the lower dantian. Allowing the mind to rest and relax. Allowing the mind to feel the breath entering and leaving the body. And allowing yourself to relax into the form. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and gently open them. Bringing the arms back down to the body. Gently closing, bringing that left foot back to the right. And then getting ready to close our day of practice. Bringing those hands back to one another, rubbing them back and forth, transferring some of that wonderful chi that you've been cultivating into the palms. Placing the palms at the lower dantian. Traditionally, men place their left hand first, right hand on top. Women place their right hand first, left hand on top. And then I am not going to mirror you as we all together start gathering the chi, going up the right and down the left of the lower abdomen. Gradually allowing the circles to become a little larger, encompassing a little more of the abdomen. Then circling the other way up the left and down the right. We're concentrating the energy now. Or then resting the palms at the lower dantian, closing the eyes. Guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with all the energy that you've been cultivating over the past half hour. And then exhaling, allowing the energy to settle and store so that you may use it throughout the rest of your day. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the qi to the lower dantian. Exhaling, allowing the mind and body to rest and relax, coming to stillness. Taking a few more breaths at your own pace. Thank you so very, very, very much for practicing on Tuesday morning with us. It's so great to see everybody. And Henry, please answer questions for us.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
All right, okay. Good morning. A couple of reminders first that I want everyone to know about. One is we are extending class a little bit starting tomorrow. We realize that it's hard to cover everything. We want to make sure that you're able to practice the exercises that we've learned earlier in the week, as well as incrementally adding on new exercises. So we want to make sure that you get familiar with all these other exercises and not get overwhelmed. So increasing it to 45 minutes allows us to do that better. The second thing is that we have a really special event tonight. My friends Ryan and Petra are amazing musicians, and I know I've mentioned a few times about how music is a form of Qigong. Typically, we do play music too in some of my classes because it really helps move the energy. So not like, you know, techno or death metal, but those move energy too in very different ways. But you can see how like different genres of music can affect you in different ways. Some inspire, some, you know, really help you get your anger and angst out, and others are, you know, more relaxing or for sleeping even. So tonight's event is like a virtual sound bath. It will be streamed online, and so they'll be giving a live concert for us. Uh-oh, is everything okay? Oh no. Oh, I can't hear you though, Mary Frances, but okay.
I silenced myself.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I just want to make sure because this platform is still not perfect yet. But yeah, so the sound bath is tonight. It's at 6:30 p.m. You should you have to RSVP if you want to go, so that we know the numbers, and then I'll be sending a link to you privately, so you have that link. It is a donation-based event, so they are asking for a $5 donation for each person who attends. And again, like artists are struggling right now, musicians like them, they typically have a lot of gigs and things like that, but all of that's been shut down. So I'm doing what I can to help them because really what they do is really amazing, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So yeah, again, I hope you can make it tonight. Okay, so third thing, I do want to continue to reinforce our practices, make it stronger. And one of the things we really want to talk about is commitment. Okay, this is more about commitment to yourself. And I can just share a story about when I first started learning Qigong and teaching Qigong, is that, you know, commitment's a tough thing because, you know, with Qigong, you really need to have a regular practice. It's not something that you can just practice once in a month and expect to get a lot of benefits from it. Just like if you don't go to the gym every so often, if you only go to the gym once a month or so, you're not gonna get toned, you're not gonna look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not that you really want to, or The Rock, but you know what I mean, in terms of getting fit and getting more strong or getting more flexible. All these things take time and take persistence and take commitment to do. So similarly, Qigong requires a certain amount of commitment if you want to see results. Results, whether it's within your body for medical Qigong, like health purposes, or if it's for more mind and calming and relaxing and focusing. Again, these things do require training to do. So you are going to get results if you stay with the practice. And when I first started, Master Hong said 60 days. Okay. So I do recommend committing yourself to 60 days. It doesn't mean you have to show up to this class every day for 60 days. It means you should have some sort of Qigong or meditation practice every day for 60 days. So you don't have to do it with us, but having this class makes it easier because then you can be accountable to yourself more easily because there's already something here. And it's nice to have that thought of being able to do this with other people at the same time, and you can really connect that energy, feeling that, you're not alone. Because it is hard. It is hard when you're doing it by yourself. And that's what I realized when I first started teaching is that, it's hard to sustain that practice by yourself. And that's part of the reason why I started teaching was that I really wanted to be able to bring more people in and have a community and we can all practice together. I also realized that when you teach, you also learn it in a very different way. So I do recommend those of you who love this practice to also teach. And that's the beauty of Qigong is that it's very easy to teach, right? Today you just learn some exercises. We just started, this is our 6th daily class. So by now you should have had, 4 exercises under your belt. And, you may not still be doing them perfectly, but you can already start to share them with people. I remember after learning Qigong, it was like maybe a few weeks later, it was Christmas, and my family had a family gathering. So we ended up doing Qigong right before dinner. And it was just a beautiful thing to be able to share something, a tool that people can use, and they can use that for the rest of their life. No one can take that away from them, right? They learn it, and then they can practice it, and they can teach it. So I do recommend doing that for yourself. And some of my students have gone on, like Mary Frances, but some of you in this group even have gone on to teach other people. So that's really inspiring for me that people are able to do that because, none of us are around forever. But the more that we're able to share that, the more that it gets out and more people can benefit from it. So that commitment requires you to, maybe that's teaching, maybe just practicing, but regardless of what's going on, and this is really a big challenge, right? The fact that all of us are kind of stuck at home, we can't do a lot. So there's kind of like this pull of like, oh man, it's depressing, it's stressful, there's a lot of anxiety. But a good way to combat that is really go back and refocus on what's important to you. Okay, you could dwell in a lot of these negative emotions, but you can also choose the other side, which is to stay with committing to your health, committing with your wellness. And this is a tool to help you do that. So I do recommend the commitment thing because it's not for me. Maybe you'll have a picture of me in your head, like, oh no, Henry's gonna cross his arms and judge you badly if you don't do Qigong today. But it's not about me. It's about you and it's about your life. And commitment goes well beyond Qigong. It goes into everything that you do. My photography, for example, is totally about commitment. It's about, going out there and doing photography regardless of all the excuses that you have in your head. So whether that for you, that's music, whether that's teaching, whether that's building your business, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, commitment is really important because if you drop off and stop, no one's going to see it. No one's going to benefit from it. You're not going to, see that growth. So that commitment needs to be there. So that's my lesson for today. So hope you get something out of that. I hope to see you all tomorrow. We hope to see you all tomorrow. Actually, we all hope to see you tonight for the sound bath. But otherwise, we hope to see you tomorrow to continue this practice. Thank you very much.